start right now.
Screen sharing has resumed.
Alright, hello, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to another Internet Marketing Q&A session. Today's October 3rd, 23rd. My name is Thomas Wooldridge from thomaswooldridge.com. These are some of the marketing questions, Internet marketing questions I had this week. Hopefully everybody had a great week.
Screen sharing is on. Screen sharing has resumed.
Yeah, hopefully everybody had a good week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Alright, so I think the most popular question right now I'm getting is, are exact domains still a good method? The answer is yes. I posted on some of the Skype groups, and I posted another answer that I got from another marketer, Ed Pudo. He had stated that his exact domain sites, which he had over 36 or 30 sites with exact domains, and he had not taken any hits from penguins. Okay, so some of the key things to look at and what he understands as success is the same thing that we talked about on for the last several weeks. Okay, exact domains still are very relevant in our search engine optimization strategy. The reason why a lot of exact domains are not working is because most of them have a very thin amount of content, and a lot of them doesn't have that authority that you would want on an exact domain, exact match domain. And what I mean about authority is lots of relevant content that really means something, that's very helpful for the users that are looking for that particular type of product or service. So just keep in mind that once again, I'm going to reiterate it again, that you got to add more social media in your backlinking strategy to strengthen your exact domain, exact match domain. The reason why that is because Google, like I was saying, Google is looking towards social media to provide that extra link juice to confirm that the website is legitimate. It has the authority. They figured that if 10 different people from 10 different Facebook accounts all agreed that they liked that page, or they had commented about that page, or shared a link on that page, it has a lot more credibility versus having 50 backlinks from other sites, whether do follow, no follow, whatever follow, sites that are backlinking. So in other words, they're taking more credibility from social media profiles. Okay, so I cannot emphasize how critical that is to add all that into your social strategy mix. Okay, and additionally, adding more content. You just got to keep that website fresh. You know, you don't have to have a new update every day, but I'll give you an example. If you had an exact domain, exact match domain that has something to do about cameras, or something that, let's talk some more relevant, like cell phones, right? So you had an exact domain about a cell phone, and you haven't talked about the iPhone 5, because that's like the biggest thing that's happening in the last 2 weeks with cell phones, then you might not be as relevant. Okay? And Google might penalize that exact match domain. So you have to put yourself in the position of how Google and how the end user will see you. You got to keep your website more relevant, more up to date of what's going on. Something to keep in mind is that Google knows when you publish your page. Okay, you can try to manipulate the dates, or however you can try to fudge the numbers and do some JavaScripts to make sure that every time it crawls, it always sees today's date. But they can tell when the last time you updated your website. So if they could tell that you didn't update your website for the last 3 months, then you're going to lose your credibility to maintain the content or the authority for that particular long tail keyword. Okay, so just keep that in mind. be sure to just constantly add more content, constantly do more backlinking, and add social media. As a matter of fact, I would insist that you do twice the amount of social media backlinking versus traditional backlinking. Okay, gotta add that into the mix, and it's really not that difficult. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have a lot of friends and followers. That is, just post a link on the wall. Post a link on somebody else's wall or somebody else's fan page. Okay, all that is very much possible. It's not really that difficult. And just like what we talked about last week, we want to share, leverage each other's social media, social bookmarking accounts like OnlyWire, Pixel Pipes, Hello Text, all those different types of services. You should be able to have those accounts all set up. And if you don't recall the last the Q&A we had last week, or if you wasn't able to join, just be sure to watch the video that's in the archives on the blog. Okay, very important that we help each other out. Okay, instead of swapping links, let's swap social bookmarks. All right, so that's all I can say about that. I'm sure I'm going to get that same question asked again in these next few weeks. All right, here's another question. What is the easiest method right now to be making money online? Okay, here it is. I get asked this question all the time. It's some type of strategy, whether it's CPA, is making money CPA is the best way to make money, or is it generating opt-ins, or building a list? And look, all those different methods are a great way to make money. But right now there is a big surge with mobile marketing. I think right now that's like a red hot thing to get started into the business, because I believe, and what I truly believe, is a lot of the business to business type of selling is very lucrative, because there is a fundamental shift in a lot of the traditional businesses that they're gearing more into digital advertising. And I know it's been a trending for a very long time, but it's just slowly emerging. Okay, back probably about 3 or 4 years ago, we was all pushing email marketing as like the hottest thing going on, and companies like Constant Contact and others that really targeted to local businesses, they ramped up and gained a lot of customers. But what's happening is that email marketing is slowly dying because of the lack of open rate. And it's just basically email. People just don't have time to read all the emails, because number one, they get overwhelmed with too many emails, too many spam emails, and people just, we all live in a 140 character world when it comes to Twitter. Like Twitter, that's why Twitter's so popular, because it's just short bursts of information in a very short amount of time. It doesn't take that much time to read it or follow a Twitter conversation. So most of these businesses are finding out that email marketing is not what it used to be, because and additionally, things like Groupon, Half Off Depot, all the Living Social, all those types of sites have inundated with so many emails have sent so many emails to users as well. So all that has really diluted the marketing share. So what is a fundamental shift in the marketplace is more mobile marketing, because because you could do this test is you could send somebody an email and somebody a text. What do you think is the first thing that they're going to respond to? And that's going to be text. It's just because it's quicker, and most of the time your phone is with you 23 out of 24 hours a day within arm's reach, and you can just really read that email much faster. But I feel that the text marketing business is actually going to fall into the trap of of email marketing as well. It's because more and more people are getting more and more text. As more people jump on the bandwagon with text marketing, it's going to dilute the marketplace just as well. Because just like right now, you probably got over 100 emails, okay, from whatever offers or other businesses that you might have participated, or some other list you might have opted in. Now, you might not get 100 texts. You might only get 10 or 20 texts a day. But as people slowly ramp up with the text marketing, it's probably going to be safe to say that in the next couple years, you might end up getting 100 text messages a day as well. You're probably going to end up having more advertising text messages than regular communicating text message. Who knows? You might end up having a spam filter for text marketing as well. So I wouldn't even be surprised if we get a bunch of text that goes into the junk mail, just like we do with email. So, and that's something that I pretty much envision. So what I think is much more ahead of text marketing is the app market, getting apps for the clients. I think right there is probably the most lucrative part of the business that everyone could jump into, is selling to business on the app market. And there's several different companies that's doing apps. I know there's one that I'm licensed to sell, which is Comment 5. They have a great thing to offer to businesses with the mobile app. They have a do-it-yourself feature, which is $199 for $199. A business can do an app themselves. But here's the kicker, though. Most of the times, these businesses just don't have the time or the ability to do build an app themselves. Now, the app system is quite simple because it has like the drag and drop system that you can use. Very similar to how, if you guys from the U.S. will see, I believe it's called web.com. They are promoting promoting people to get free websites if they do their hosting. But in the website system building, they make it look real simple online with the drag and drop. Now, truthfully, the system might be simple, but at the end of the day, many hours probably are spent by the business owners, and they would have been just as easy to hire a web developer, a web designer, $200 just to build it themselves, even with the drag and drop system. So it's very similar with the do-it-yourself app. The customers or the business, they can do the drag and drop system and create their own app. But at the end of the day, it's probably going to take too long. So what you can do is offer consulting services and build the app on their behalf. And that's something that's where the money's coming in. So you sell an app for $199, and then you tell them to say, hey, I can build that app for you for $250. Okay? See, so that's $250 that can go into your pocket right away after you build the app for them. Okay? And that's, at the end of the day, that's how you get the most money, because businesses can spend $250 rather easy if they're going to find a benefit in themselves. Now, some people might think, whoa, shoot, $199 or $250, like spending like $500, that must be hard to get from a business. But let me tell you, let me give you an example. It's expensive compared to what? You know what I mean? Just compare it to what? Because if you spent $500 and with that $500 allowed you to get one extra customer, would you make your money back? If they say no, if it takes 2 or 3 customers, would it make your money back? And they might say yes. And at that point, you say, what do you think that app might be worth it just to get those 3 more customers by having an app? Okay, and so that's something to think about to tell the business owners. Because let me tell you, like earlier this week, my wife had to go to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor had told me it's going to be $75 a session, and he requires 10 sessions a minimum, to help my wife's back problem. Now they was charging, like I said, they was charging $75 at 10 sessions. That's $750 I had to pay the chiropractor. And you wouldn't believe how long it took the chiropractor service. It was like less than 30 minutes. Okay, so my wife was in there, probably spent with the doctor maybe less than 5 minutes. They had to do some adjusting. If you've ever been a chiropractor, they do all that cracking your back and however they do all that stuff. And then it was another like 15 minutes of laying in this water bed, and another 15 minutes of laying in this decompression thing, where basically it stretches your back, right? So it's like 30 minutes for $75, and with 10 sessions, that's $750. And you tell me something expensive, to me that was expensive. You see what I mean? So if a business person tells you that, hey, that's too expensive to invest, and I'm like, well, compared to what? Compared to your own prices? You see what I mean? So just put that in perspective. So right now, I think that's probably the hottest thing going on right now. If you establish yourself in the community, in your local community, whether it's a big city or small city or just a little neighborhood, you could literally sell a lot of apps, in this business. Okay. So next question. Okay. I had this was a question that I had from one of my offline clients that wanted to establish a new business online. So he said, how do I brand a new business online? Okay, so the answer I got was, number one, you got to develop your unique selling position. You got to find out what your competitors are doing and how you can differentiate yourself from that competitor. If one competitor, I'm just giving you an example, if one competitor says we can deliver pizzas in 30 minutes to your house, well, see if you can do it in 15 minutes. You see what I mean? So you gotta find out what your competitors are doing it, make it at a minimum standard, and then excel on that standard. You might have, your company might do better customer service after a sale, versus most people will sell to a customer and never provide any customer service or any follow-up after they made a sale. Maybe that's your unique selling position. You ensure that not only that you provide 100% satisfaction up to the time they make a sale, but you follow up with them on a regular basis to make sure that they're still are satisfied with the service. Secondly, you have to get multiple keyword domains. Domains are very, very cheap when you think about an advertising standpoint. A max out a domain will cost you $13, $14 a year. Okay, don't be cheap about it. It is a great investment in it, especially if you have a domain name that might have different variations. For example, if you have a number in your domain name, like the number 4, F-O-U-R, make sure you buy a variation of the domain with the number 4, okay? If you have a domain name that has an S at the end, as like a plural word, you need to buy a domain name without the S, okay? Only thing I do not suggest you doing is make sure that you only focus on the .com. I mean, it can get very expensive when you start having to purchase domain names with other different extensions. Just keep a .com and you should be good, because then it could get really expensive when you figure out, oh, I got to buy a .tv, a .us, .info, all that, into the mix. And what if, God forbid, another registrar comes in and you got to buy that? Yeah, don't worry about none of that, as long as you get the .com, okay? And then also, do a lot of exact match domain names that happens to be relevant in your niche. Then on top of that, buy a lot of exact match domain with different modifiers, such as your city, okay? Not only put your city in that location and put your zip code. Now all that is relevant if you do a lot of if your business has to deal with a lot of local businesses that you might have. Say if you have a brick and mortar store that's in the area, all those different variations is something that that you have to account for. Thirdly, just do basic keyword backlinking like we all normally do. Get a lot of Web 2.0 properties, write a lot of articles, apply a lot of social media backlinking to your profile. Just your traditional SEO that you've always learned to do. Number 4, you got to budget some money for PPC. I know I touched on this last week. It was always an option. You rather do a PPC or SEO in the past. But what I've learned and what I've heard as well is if you say like you did a regular SEO campaign and you did a Google AdWords campaign, that Google AdWords campaign will actually strengthen your keywords, and you'll probably get higher SERPs because you have a PPC campaign on AdWords with the same keyword. Okay, just keep that in mind. Budget for Facebook likes. All that stuff can be fairly cheap, because if you had figured, in order to figure out your budget, a marketing budget, you want to figure out like how much does it cost for you to acquire a customer. Okay, so and then how much does it cost you to make a profit? What's your profit margin? And then from those numbers, you can figure out how much money you can spend up to. All right. So this is how people like in the mortgage leads business, which is something that I did a while back. I would actually sell mortgage leads. I would get the mortgage leads from online and sell them to mortgage companies that does all the refinance. And they were paying me $25 per lead. It was amazing. I was like, who pays $25 per lead? I thought that was ludicrous. But what I was finding out, that they was making a killing doing refi. And they was actually profiting nearly over thousands and thousands of dollars per lead. So that's why they could, per close. Every time they close, they'll make thousands of dollars. So that's why they could afford paying $25 a lead, because they know that if it takes 10 of those leads, they usually close the one, so they end up paying $250 to close one lead, but they still profited $750, assuming that they made $1,000 when they did the refi. Okay, so keep that in mind when you want to budget, how much you want to budget for your PPC campaign. And then lastly, you got to do a slow baby step social media plan. All right. This is one of my initial Lunch and Learn webinars I did about a month ago. You might want to revisit that to learn about how to develop a social media plan. Okay, so all that is taken into consideration on how you brand a brand new business online. Okay, I'm not talking about, this is just a little bit beyond just the niche building that most of you guys are doing. I'm talking about a business that you created that you want to brand online. Alright? Alright, here goes another question. I read about doing internal linking. I didn't understand what that meant. Can you explain what internal linking is? This is a very good question, because I don't recall discussing internal links. Internal link structure. And here's my answer. Just basically, what an internal link is just like when you write on your blog. I know, hopefully by now, all of you guys are using Zamenta, the plugin Zamenta. Excuse me, I had to drink some. The plugin Zamenta. Now, what Zamenta does is it shows you right under where you write your blog post. Right under it, it has links. It looks for keywords in your blog post and allows you to link that keyword immediately just by pressing a button. Now, what good that is because it tells Google that you're not stingy. You're a website that this is what you do, external linking. External linking just basically shows Google that, hey, I believe in this information. I feel that this outside link is very important for the people when they come and visit and read my blog. I feel that this external link is very important. I have nothing to do with this external link other than the fact that I just want to bring out good value to the readers, and I think it will be benefit them. Okay, when you think about that, that concept, that's how you get a really good external link, and that's how you get a really that's how you would get noticed by Google, and you will be rewarded with higher search engine rankings. So Zamanta, the plugin Zamanta allows you to do that, and also there's another button that you could click on related content. So it's really nice how they do the related content. They put a little thumbnail, and then they format it really nice for you. That's a great way. But the best way to do it when you're external linking is actually put the external link within the paragraph. So you surround it with words. It strengthens it a little more. It makes it sound more relevant when you actually put the link right inside the sentence, right in between the sentences. Okay. So the way you do the internal links is the same thing. You strengthen your internal pages if you're talking about that particular topic. WordPress makes it very, very easy. I don't know if you guys noticed it. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, I can't show it to you. I'll probably make another video. It's just that I won't be able to report it. When you highlight a word to link, okay, on the blog post, you click the link button on the top of the menu where it has all those different icons, or you can do like bolding or bullets or whatever. There's that link button. You click on the link, okay. It tells you, when you click on a pop-up will come, it tells you, okay, what link you want to link it to, okay. So the way you do an internal link is you go and there's a pull down. You click on that pull down and it shows you all the different internal pages that you have that you can link to. Now, if you have many pages, you might have to search for it. So what you can do is there's a search option. Put in the keyword that you're searching for. So whether it's questions or, you know, if you've got coffee pots or something like that, your niche, you put in that keyword, hit a search, and then it shows you all the links, internal links that you have that's relevant to that keyword. Alright, then you just click on it, and bam, now you got a internal linking to your keyword. So that is pretty important. That's just as important as the external link. So now what you're doing, you're passing along like link juice to some of your other internal links as well. Okay, so one of the goals that you should do is every time you post a blog post, you should try to make every effort to have at least one relevant internal link as well. Alright, so keep on doing that, and that's how you strengthen some of your other pages within your site. You find out one of the other things you can do is when you look at all your analytics, you figure out what the most popular page is on your site, and you can edit it and add an internal link if you believe that it will strengthen the message or the content in your blog post. Okay, one, it allows when Google spiders your website, they can crawl and find that internal link, and then they can visit your internal link as well. Okay, all that is passing around link juice and strengthens all your other pages as well. This is something similar that people use and capitalize when they do tags. If you're familiar with tags, you put your tags as the keywords that's in your article, and anything that's listed in that tags gets some of that link juice as well. So it's kind of like the same concept, but you're just doing it within the blog post in itself. Okay, so that will do it. I really appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to be gone these next couple of days. I'm going to be out on a business trip on Thursday and Friday, so my time is going to be a little bit limited. So if I don't get back with you right away, I do apologize. I'll try to get back with you as soon as I can. Just keep those questions coming, and it's important that you guys stay active in these groups. I know it's been a while since I updated the daily logs. I had mentioned earlier to someone, I think it was in the third group, that I actually have 10 through 30 done. I'm going to paste them to the to the daily spreadsheet, the daily docs. So I'm shooting to have that done by tomorrow morning. Okay. So thanks for everybody's patience. I really appreciate it. And got any questions, get back with me. Send me an email, send me a message on Skype. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you very much.
Screen sharing is paused.